The future is already here. The first sign that we are entering a new era of development and technology was the opening of a long-awaited terminal in Singapore, with the latest cutting-edge technology and the world's largest artificial waterfall. The terminal project externally resembles a huge glass donut of 135,700 square meters, which is completely framed by steel. It is a multifunctional complex designed to connect 3 of the 4 terminals of Changi Airport. To date, the Singapore airport leads the ranking of the most beautiful airports in the world. The waterfall, called Rain Vortex, has a height of 40 meters and flows into the roof opening with a glass dome. It was designed by the architectural firm Moshi Sapti. The donut-shaped glass and steel roof was designed by Happold, and the designers created a climate-controlled indoor forest. There are frequent thunderstorms in Singapore, so the waterfall was designed to drain rainwater at a rate of 10,000 gallons per minute. This flow of water will naturally cool the air under the dome, with the collected rainwater reused. The waterfall is surrounded by terraces with paths for visitors to walk, planted with 200 species of plants. The 5 floors of the Jewel Changi building are filled with stores and restaurants. The new building is connected to Singapore's public transport system and other terminals via pedestrian bridges. Jewel Changi Airport covers a total area of 134,000 square meters, and 5 of its 10 floors are hidden underground. Another know-how of the terminal is the SkyTrain, which runs between the 3 terminals. Its tracks pass over a bridge constructed across the entire Jewel Changi gallery at the height of the 3rd floor. In this way, the trains emerge from the rock, pass a waterfall in the air, and disappear into another rock. In addition to the waterfall, Jewel Changi Airport also boasts the largest food court, which consists of 280 cafes, bars, and restaurants. There is also a huge multi-tiered garden with trees and greenery in the center of the building. And although the building is considered a terminal by design, it is actually a gallery between the terminals, because there is no gate for passengers to board or disembark the plane. The building is open to any visitor to the airport. Local people even come here just to take pictures of the world's sensation, as evidenced by the hundreds of thousands of photos on Instagram. In addition to the fact that Jewel Changi connects 3 terminals, a shuttle bus runs here from the 4th terminal. Here tourists can stay at the Yodelair Hotel, which has a capacity of 130 beds, and leave their belongings in the luggage storage room. There is also the Changi Lounge area, designed to complement the new intermodal transportation service that improves the connection between air and sea for passengers from cruise ships. Also, the airport is offering a very unusual but unique service, free bank credit for 12 hours. For passengers who get bored between long layovers between flights, there are 11 IMAX theaters. On the top floor of the airport is the 14,000 square meter canopy park, which in addition to the theme gardens also has several restaurants and cafes. Despite the opening of the terminal, work is still in progress. The shell of the airport building consists of 9,608 specially made glass fragments, about 18,000 steel beams, and more than 6,000 connecting assemblies made of steel. The architectural glass used to cover the dome and the facade is a special innovative material that has a dual function. It transmits the sunlight necessary for the growth of plants in the Jewel Gardens, and at the same time has thermal insulation properties. Low-E glass protects internal spaces from excessive heating, the so-called greenhouse effect. To conform to the structural design of Moshi Sapti's iconic architecture, all glass panels were required to have varying sizes and shapes. With such a specific and complex design, the production and construction of the Jewel shell was an engineering feat in itself. Another requirement for the Jewel glass envelope was soundproofing. After all, the facility is located on the territory of the airport. The glass panels are designed to have an air gap of 16 millimeters between them to isolate the interior spaces from aircraft noise. Several tests and studies were conducted to make sure that the glare from the glass surface of Jewel does not interfere with the daily work of air traffic controllers as well as aircraft pilots. To create a jungle effect, 120 species of plants were planted in the nutrient soil on the terraces, only 5% of which are local, the rest were brought from around the world. For example, the collection includes 2 olive trees from Spain, each over 100 years old. To ensure a comfortable temperature for plants and people at the same time, the air temperature in the oasis is maintained at a compromised level of 23 degrees Celsius. Delving into the backstory of the project, it carries the idea of a big yellow taxi. In fact, the Changi Airport Group has turned the parking lot into a gated paradise, inspired by Singapore's reputation as a city in a garden. The idea originated back in 2010, when experts were considering expanding the capacity of Terminal 1. This parking lot has been transformed into a stunning space. Considering that the architect of the project is Moshe Safdie, already famous at the time for designing another Singaporean icon, Marina Bay Sands, he was filled with great expectations of constructing a building of equal magnificence. We are at a critical fork. In just one generation, architecture will be a different profession. We are facing new and different problems. Architects will have to address such issues as higher density, urban megascale, new kinds of transportation, new materials, and construction techniques. Improving the quality of public realm is central, said Moshe Safdie. During the opening of the airport, almost 500,000 people registered for a preview and tour of Jewel. Such excitement is quite understandable. The process of implementing an ambitious project lasted 5 years, and the final budget for the creation of Jewel was $1.7 billion. In addition to Moshe Safdie, a multidisciplinary team worked on the project. The terraced jungle was created by Peter Walker Partners Landscape, and the unique roof with a diameter of 200 meters was designed by Burrow Happold Engineering. The Singapore airport is only 30 minutes away from the central business district, making it possible for locals to head there for the occasional meal or movie. Changi Airport Group executives are banking on this, as they expect it to be a popular new destination for Singaporeans. In terms of offerings that can entice locals, Jewel has some of Singapore's first food, beverage, and retail offerings. These include the American burger chain Shake Shack, the British Lobster and Burger, and the world's first Pokemon Center outside of Japan. Changi Airport is currently the 7th busiest airport in the world in terms of international traffic. According to the latest data from the airport, 65.6 million passengers pass through its 4 terminals during the year. It connects to over 400 cities around the world and is served by over 100 airlines, with planes taking off or landing every 80 seconds. Also, based on the information provided by the airport, passenger numbers have almost doubled in the last 10 years, so there is a constant emphasis on growth. The airport was named the best in the world in 2023, according to the ranking of the British agency Skytrax. The winner was determined by a survey of passengers from 100 countries. From August 2022 to February 2023, they evaluated 550 airports of the world on 44 parameters. Everything from the overall condition of the infrastructure to the ease of access to the terminal, the attitude of customs officials to the passengers, the cleanliness of toilets and Wi-Fi internet speed were taken into account. Skytrax has been choosing the best airport since 1999, and Changi has topped the list 12 times in a row. What to expect next? Maintaining the status of the world's best airport means there is no time to sit around and bathe in the aquatic glow of a waterfall, because competitors are not sleeping. Therefore, it is planned to build the 5th terminal, which will be behind the square like all 4 combined. The facility is expected to open closer to 2030. Until that time, the management plans to improve the existing terminals, so that by 2030 the airport will be able to receive 140 million passengers a year. Jewel Changi can be seen as an example of a modern reimagining of airport space, where functional areas are seamlessly integrated into a lush tropical garden. The Jewel will become a magnet for tourists and reinforce Changi Airport's appeal as an international air hub. At the same time, it will become a public space for local residents and revitalize the eastern districts of Singapore. Write in the comments what do you think of this unique Singapore airport. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press on the like button and subscribe to our channel. Also watch our previous videos. Goodbye.